FastMCP3 introduces immediate tool transformation through the tool from tool method, enabling developers to modify tool schemas before registration by renaming tools, adjusting descriptions, and reshaping argument structures. This mechanism operates as a direct transformation pipeline, where tool objects are created with modified configurations before being added to the server. The upcoming code demonstrates how to create a tool using the standalone @tool decorator, then transform it by renaming both the tool and its arguments while enhancing descriptions, before finally registering the modified version to a FastMCP server instance. This pattern showcases the separation of tool creation from registration, allowing for flexible schema modifications before deployment. From FastMCP, import FastMCP. From FastMCP tools, import tool. From FastMCP tools tool transform, import arg transform. Create a tool without registering it. @tool. Def search, SDR limit, int equals 10 list SDR. Search for items. Return F result I for Q, for I in range limit. Transform it before registration. Better search equals tool from tool. Search. Name equals find items. Description equals find items matching your search query. Transform args equals Q arg transform. Name equals query. Description equals the search terms to look for. MCP equals FastMCP server. MCP, add toolbiter search. This code demonstrates immediate tool transformation in FastMCP3, where a tool is modified before registration rather than through deferred transforms. The pattern uses tool from tool to create a transformed version of the original search function, allowing explicit control over the tool's name, description, and argument schema. The transformation process involves two key modifications: renaming the tool from search to find items, and transforming the argument Q to query with an enhanced description. This approach is particularly useful when you have direct access to the tool source and want to customize its interface before exposing it to clients. The @tool decorator creates a standalone tool object without immediate registration, enabling this transformation workflow. The trade-off here is between immediate and deferred transformation. Immediate transformation, as shown, provides explicit control at registration time, but requires direct access to the tool. In contrast, deferred transformation using tool transform would be necessary when tools come from external providers or mounted servers. This example highlights the flexibility in FastMCP3 for tailoring tool interfaces to specific client needs, while maintaining the original function's implementation. Let's break it down. From FastMCP, import FastMCP. Imports the FastMCP class from the FastMCP module, which serves as the base class for creating Model Context Protocol (MCP) servers. This import enables the creation of a server instance that can handle component flows and transformations within the FastMCP3 framework. From FastMCP tools, import tool. Imports the tool, class, and tool decorator from the FastMCP tools module, providing the necessary components for defining and registering tools within the FastMCP framework. From FastMCP tools tool transform, import arg transform. Imports the arg transform class from the FastMCP tools tool transform module, which provides functionality for transforming tool arguments in the FastMCP framework. @tool. Def search, SDR limit, int equals 10 list SDR. Search for items. Defines a tool function named search that takes a string query parameter and an optional integer limit parameter defaulting to 10, returning a list of strings. The decorator, @tool, marks this function as an MCP tool component, making it discoverable through the model context protocol. The doc string indicates this tool performs search operations for items.
Return F, result I for Q, for I in range limit.
Returns a list of formatted strings by iterating through numbers from 0 to limit 1, where each string follows the pattern result number for Q. The list comprehension generates one string per iteration, with I representing the current number and Q being a variable from the surrounding scope.
Better search equals tool from tool.
Creates a tool instance named Better Search by converting an existing tool using the FromTool class method. This method takes an existing tool object and creates a new tool instance with the same configuration, allowing for tool transformation or reconfiguration within the FastMCP framework. The visible line shows the initialization of this process, but doesn't specify the source tool being transformed.
Name equals find items.
Assigns the string value find items to a variable named name. This creates a simple string identifier that will be used elsewhere in the code, likely as an explicit tool name exposed via MCP protocol as per the context definitions. The assignment itself is straightforward. It just stores the literal string find items in the variable name for later reference.
Description equals find items matching your search query.
Assigns a descriptive string find items matching your search query to a variable named description. This string serves as human-readable metadata, likely used for documentation or user interface display purposes.
Transform args equals
initializes a dictionary variable named transform args with an empty dictionary literal, creating a container for transformation arguments that will be populated with key-value pairs in subsequent code. This dictionary will likely store configuration parameters for component transforms in the FastMCP pipeline.
Q, arg transform.
Applies an arg transform to the parameter named Q, which will modify how this argument is processed when flowing through the FastMCP component pipeline. The transform will intercept and potentially alter the Q parameter as it moves from providers to clients, following the standard transform pattern where components pass through sequential modification stages.
Name equals query.
Assigns the string query to a variable named name. This sets an explicit identifier that will be exposed via MCP model context protocol for tool discovery, overriding any default function name that might otherwise be used. The value appears in protocol handshakes to help clients identify this specific component.
Description equals the search terms to look for.
Defines a string variable, description with the value, the search terms to look for. That serves as a human-readable explanation of what the associated parameter or field represents.
MCP equals FastMCP server.
Creates an instance of FastMCP with the server identifier server. This instantiation establishes a model context protocol MCP server that will be identifiable as server in protocol handshakes, allowing clients to recognize this specific server instance during communication. The string parameter serves solely as a label for identification purposes and does not configure any operational behavior or functional modes.
MCP, add tool better search.
Adds the Better Search tool to the MCP server's tool collection, making it available for clients to discover and use through the model context protocol. The tool will be exposed with its function name unless explicitly named otherwise. FastMCP3's immediate tool transformation pattern lets you reshape tool interfaces before registration, giving you explicit control over naming and argument structure. The @tool decorator creates a standalone tool object, which you then transform using tool from tool to modify its name, description, and arguments. In this example, the search function gets renamed to find items, and its Q parameter becomes query with an enhanced description. This approach works when you have direct access to the tool source, allowing you to tailor the interface for clients while keeping the original implementation intact. The trade-off is clear. Immediate transformation offers precise control at registration time, but requires access to the tool definition, unlike deferred transformation, which handles external tools. By separating creation from registration, FastMCP 3 enables flexible schema modifications that adapt tools to specific client needs without altering their core functionality.
The decorator wraps the function in silence, yet its name echoes louder than the code it hides.